Hey, one more time. We in the sauna, and we have two interesting guys here, two young guys. This is Travis Wilson. Where are you from,
Trevor
Travis?
Wilson.
Or Trevor?
From Northern California, Petaluma.
Okay, California boy. And
Nico Miyataki, Utah.
okay, so these two guys are here, part of the 21-day terrain modification retreat we have here. And a lot of the things we're doing is advanced. Well, they're pretty simple, but they're advanced for most people because you have to get down to a certain layer to be able to really, enjoy what a lot of the toxicity is when you see it, when it comes out of your body, and that's what we're going to show you today. It takes a while for you to open up your skin pores and make it so your body will even want to release poisons. These guys, how many days water fast you guys each do?
I did 11.
Did 14.
Yeah, 14. Okay, now remember what they just told you. They did 11 days, okay, drinking dry water, which is distilled water. Any food in between?
No.
The 11 days and the 14 days?
No.
You didn't cheat one time?
Nope.
All right, remember people do cheat when they come here. So the idea is that, real quick, your body basically needs to clean itself up, and it knows how to clean itself up when you quit putting in garbage. And even if it's good stuff, you still have to take out all the stuff previously that was garbage. So this is like the super reset. And what you guys also do? Okay, you water fasted.
We got IV treatments, massages, colonics, yeah. A little bit of exercise.
Yoga,
if we
stretching,
could.
exercise.
We felt like it.
Waterfalls.
Mm-hmm.
Playing around at the beach a little bit. And look, these guys are in good shape, okay? They're not coming here because they need to lose 20 pounds, okay? These guys are in good shape. And they look totally different, let me tell you. This guy's his brother, and this guy's his newer self right here. But you look totally different because you shaved and changed a lot of stuff too, okay? Now, everybody on the 10th day or so, and this is what I noticed with these guys too, they had like all of a sudden this, not only the older people, they look 10 years younger. It's not that these guys look 10 years younger because they're only,
5.
21.
21. Okay, now, are these guys smart? Remember, are you here for a disease?
Nope.
Okay.
Just to upgrade.
Are you here for a disease?
Nope.
Okay. There are people on this planet that are not sick, and what they're wanting to do is try to advance to the next quantum level of their, what I call human existence. And so this is one of the ways that you do this. And it does take some time, does take effort, and it does take discipline. Now, we're going to do more of an advanced session because these guys are advanced. They're not really, looking at all to be, they're not sick. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually do some advanced, more techniques, okay, which I tell people, don't go ahead and do the stuff we're showing you, okay, unless you start the basic techniques first. You guys have already been gua shaing yourself doing the far infrared sauna, right? Okay. I mean, how many times have you guys both done that?
I've done it. There's only 2 days where I haven't done it, so basically, 13 times.
Okay. And then how about
Definitely the majority of the days I've been here.
Yeah.
Past 16 days.
Okay. And not just sitting in the sauna. What else are you doing in here?
Gua shaing.
Okay. So since these guys have already been giving themselves bruises, you got any bruises from your self-inflicted?
Maybe on the backside here. I don't know.
No, you're perfect because right now everything we give you right now is from what we're gonna do. How about you?
Nah, mine have healed up so far.
And you can see he's got a lot of veins. Okay. You can see his muscles basically separated. Really simple. Okay. Separated meaning you can tell the bicep from the tricep. You can see the veins. Okay, and this is what happens when you dry yourself out. Your body becomes more like a statue. And these bruises are probably, 3-4 days old because they're yellow?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do they hurt?
No.
No,
Really.
they don't hurt. They just look sort of ugly. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a 250 milligram dose of niacin. And this is pretty aggressive. It's aggressive doing it out of the sauna. But these guys want to do more advanced treatments, so we're going to show them some advanced ways to be able to put in line, which is still what I call beginning to intermediate. This is intermediate to advanced. Okay, so what you're going to see is in time you're going to want to work up to. Now, the niacin that we're going to take, we've taken a 500 milligram pill and we've opened it up and they've split 250 milligrams apiece. I would always suggest if anybody's going to try this, try 100 milligrams first. What it does is B3 goes in your system, okay, and it starts to tingle your head, turns your body red. It gives you a flushing. It makes you feel itchy all over, and you're going to look in your whole body and you're going to see red blotches everywhere. And this is increased vascularization. So we want this in the hot box here. It's 134 degrees. We've been in here 9 minutes, okay, and a little cool. It's cooler today out there. So my core temperature. We're just starting to sweat right now. Usually I'm in here and I'm river sweating in about 5 minutes. So, and I got the door cracked open because one of the things you have to realize just real quick, because a lot of people don't understand this simple tip. You're in a far infrared sauna. The sauna has electronic heaters, okay? They take the air, and what they do is they take the negative ions that's in the air that keep you alive and keep you happy and all those things, and they process them and turn them into positive ions. And when you breathe them in, sometimes you'll get dizzy and you won't be able to be effective staying in the sauna so much. Because we want you to really stay in the sauna if you can. Therapeutic dose is once you start river sweating. I just felt a drop go right now. Once you start river sweating, right there in my chest, okay, in 2 more minutes I'll be river sweating. Then you say, okay, 30 minutes from here. This is where you start. This is where the scientific research says if you do it this way, okay, and sometimes people, it takes 20 or 30 minutes just to get a drop. It means your skin's plugged, your pores are plugged, okay? So once you do this for 30 minutes, and I try to stay in here 45 minutes or so, but once you do this for 30 minutes, it's like doing a water fast for 3 days. So you can see when you're water fasting and or when you're doing all these different types of modalities that these guys are doing to clean themselves out, hydrocolon therapy. Did you see any critters come out of you?
I got a couple, definitely not a lot. I didn't get so much.
Okay. Did you see any magical critters come out of a place where there's a cave we call the intestines?
I got a couple out through the water hydrotherapy, colon hydrotherapy.
Okay. And what did this thing, how big was this piece of material?
You know, at least several inches long, and kind of had like a little head, so to speak, on it, and a little tail.
Okay.
And several of those.
And of course, we don't know what they are, but you were water fasting. When did that come out? How many days were you in your water fast?
I was in the 10th,
Okay.
10th or 11th day.
How many times did you go to the bathroom before that? Like, let's say from your first day of no food until, you know, I'm
Really,
asking the same question.
That was my second colonics, and on the first one, the first colonics, which was only several days into it, that was literally the only time that I went. So the colonics helped a great deal to just keep the flow going, because sometimes your body needs a little extra push.
Exactly. Now, how many times did you go to the bathroom while you were water fasting?
You mean number 2?
Number 2.
I went once the day I got here.
And that was it, otherwise?
That was it.
Okay, now remember, if they've already done this before and we wanted to do a deeper layer of cleansing, there's lots of different solvents they could do while they're water fasting, but you need to go through the basic stuff here too. And this is basic, but it's not easy either. Remember, you did 14 days of not having food. Okay, you did 11 days of not having food. Was it easy or was it hard?
No, it was pretty hard.
Okay, but it was pretty easy at the same time. After the third day or so, that's the tough part.
I got turbulence on day 2 and 3 and 9 and 10.
That's what most people usually do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how about you?
It was pretty easy, I'd say, the first week, because I'm a little bit more used to water or liquid fasting. But as far as going past 8 days was my own record, and like going past that, going past 10 is a big hump to get over. Just a lot of emotions and feelings, and of your body and of your mind really start to wane on what you're doing.
Now, you disappeared for a couple days. I see, you know, this guy's playing outside on the grass and such while he's doing his water fast. Okay. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, where's Travis? I didn't see you for like 2 days. Did you sleep a lot? Did you feel depressed? I mean, what did you feel?
A lot of sleeping. Definitely, I didn't have, and I'm very physically active, and even when I'm fasting at home for several days, I'll definitely make the point to get out there and move around and be physical. But once you really start to push the envelope, so to speak, you become a lot more withdrawn, and you don't want to associate so much with what's going on out here, because I can understand there's a lot of healing and stuff going on internally. And but yeah, I felt kind of useless to the world in a way. Pretty
felt sort of like you're withdrawing off of some drug. Sort of like a void. Right?
It does, for sure.
And this happens to a lot of people. Okay, it's actually a good sign, because it tells you that you're digging deep. Because once you start losing emotions, I cried in front of the fireplace many times. I don't know why, but I just did. I just let it out. Okay, and that was when I was getting same thing, super deep massage, doing a variety of different types of techniques. What about you, Nico?
Yeah, I tried to. For me, it was like I either my energy was up and I was doing stuff, or I was down, and so I tried. I was pretty active through most of the fast, and then day 8 or 9 came around, and I felt my energy levels start to decrease, and I had to lay in bed, and sometimes that's the hardest part, is actually just chilling.
Yeah, exactly. Relaxing your mind and your body,
Yep.
just because all you've been doing before was doing a lot of doing.
Yeah, and then you really start to honor the whole process, and you're like, okay, now my body actually doesn't have that energy, and so I'm just gonna rest and rejuvenate.
Okay, the big picture is, look, these two guys are young, okay, and as advanced or unadvanced as they feel that they are, they're very advanced to be able to actually think of your body as like this church. Okay, and if your church is run by your temples, your left and right side of your temple, and you didn't really know that you were sort of, pooping in your church, you didn't really know that you were desecrating this church. And then once you start to go ahead and know that your existence, your reality, okay, is based on your energy of your church, your body, and the activation that you become in your mind. And what these guys are doing, to me, they're called the optimizing group. But what's going to happen to them, they're also going to become the aware group. Because as your body and your minds, and not just one body, remember, you cry, whatever it is, you feel weird, it's because you're losing the emotional connection, okay, to a lot of stuff that holds inside your body, and I call that the parasite body. These guys lost tons of parasites. How much weight did you lose here? And even though, remember, you weren't skinny a bit. Okay, you had a couple pounds to lose, as I told you, but all of a sudden you look like a kid now.
I lost 19 pounds.
Okay, and he came here with not a 6-pack, an 8-pack. Okay, 8-pack. Okay, now Nico, how much did you?
I lost about 18 pounds.
Okay, and these guys weren't fat. Okay, like I said, this guy looked like, like I said, 8-pack. Okay, and Nico had a few pounds, because I said we're gonna see your stomach muscles, okay? Because this is where you start to get clarity up here. And just because, I want you to know, just because your body may be clear and it looks like it's, got see-through transparency and so forth, the mind is another machine, and you do have to go ahead and grow it, but you have to make space to be able to make it so you can. And so this is what these guys are doing. They're drying out their body by not having any food, so it reverses itself and goes into ketosis. And you get your ketone check. How long did it take both of you guys to get into ketosis?
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days or so.
3 days? Okay. So, like I said, these guys are young. And when your body goes in ketosis, it just turns around and it starts to eat all the things that it can. The easiest things. It's not going to eat you. It's going to eat all the different things inside your system. And as long as you're putting in certain liquids, that's why we use dry water. Dry water is because the water is actually very dry and it wants to grab garbage. It's way more aggressive than just doing a water fast, or a mineralized water fast, or a juice fast, or a smoothie fast, or just fasting until 12. Remember, these guys did it 14 days, and the record here has been about 31 days. And those people, I always say, if you're sick and you've got some type of sickness, then you want to try to dry water fast if you can for at least 14 days. These guys did it, okay, where I wouldn't recommend, you don't need to do any more than 14 days. 14 days your first cycle. If you do this again, you'd have a whole set of protocols to do with what you've already known you can do. You did 11, you'd hit the 14th cycle, just because you already did 11. Okay? So what we're going to do today, though, is I'm going to show these guys, you've never taken EDTA by the mouth, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we forgot to take the niacin. So they're going to take, sorry about that, 250 milligrams apiece. You can see he's got this little pill here. Split it apart. Just put that under your tongue, guys. Okay. And this will really react very quickly. I put mine in my water already. I only put in about 125 so I can keep my head straight. And what does it taste like? A little B vitamin-y?
Yeah, kind of a little on the sweet side even.
Okay. Does it taste bad?
Sour. Sour.
Yeah, a little acid,
Right.
like sort of like vitamin C, a little bit with the B vitamin mix in it.
It's like candy. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's not bad. Now, everybody's deficient in B vitamins. Why we're doing this is because, okay, we've been in here now 19 minutes, and we're both, all of us, okay, look, we're all really sweating right now, okay? Not just sweating, it's got the river going, okay? And that happened maybe about 5 minutes ago. And you can see it's got the river going, okay? So now they just put in this niacin, and this is really good. Remember, this is Earther Academy information, a lot of it. But this is simple for everybody to do, that we're going to show you on part 2 here. We're going to show you the protocols, the ways to be able to do some of this advanced technique. But this part here, everybody can do niacin. I'd start out with 100 milligrams of niacin in the morning. You do this every day for like a month. Step it up in a week or so to 200 milligrams in the morning on an empty stomach. This will give you a flushing and release your histamine storages. It'll really give you mind clarity. Really good. Okay, so everybody can do this. You don't even have to change your diet. We did a lecture yesterday too, same thing, on the foot and hand soaking. Okay, remember what we did with your hand? Mm-hmm. What happened?
A lot of peeling. A lot of peeling going on. My hands were actually, the skin was peeling a lot on its own just from the fast, skin regeneration and all, and
just detoxification.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Detoxification,
yeah.
and then we did the hydrogen peroxide, a little bit on the palm, and then just went to town with a
good sandpaper.
good sandpaper, and got a lot of it off, and even, and it came back, very smooth, and then even the next day there was even more that's starting.
Yeah, and all this yellow, show me your hands right here. You see he's got yellow here? All that's not part of who he is. And he's just going to sand it off. Remember, you're trying to not only remove the parasites, the things that are inside your body, but you want to do it from the outside in too. So that's this whole process that we're going to do here. We're also going to use, these guys are advanced. They've been doing IV treatments with EDTA, alpha lipoic acid. I'm not sure if I'm sure glutathione pushes. Mm-hmm. Did you do any H2O2, either of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And vitamin C?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done the vitamin C.
Okay. Did any of the IV therapies actually throw you for a loop? It has, as you can see, some people.
No, not for me. Not even.
Okay.
I got a lot of energy from him.
Okay.
It made me feel really good, and I was like, after most of them, I was like, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
I got
Okay,
energy.
your mother, he's got a companion here, and his mother's here with him, which is pretty cool. Okay. Did your mom have any problems with it?
Oh yeah, she got sent through the ringer with them. It brought up set a lot of things free in her system, and she had
Miraculous to be able to let go. She felt, I didn't see her for a whole day either.
Yeah,
Remember, we did a lecture. She didn't want to come out. She said, I'm going to lay in bed. I'll listen from here. Remember that?
Yeah.
So that lasted for what, 2 days maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, and this happens to a lot of people when you release a ton of different types of toxicity in your system, your morphogenic field. What it does is it increases in not just going up, okay, that's a sort of new age, it goes everywhere. And everything that's living at those layers basically have what I call colony collapse. And colony collapses certain parasites that just don't have any food, and they just all of a sudden, bam, okay? And then you wind up having all the emotions that these layers of parasites basically feed off of. Some of them don't feed off of food. Some also feed off of certain types of emotions, okay? It's sort of a little bit over most people's heads, but this is true. So once you lose the physicality, which these guys are, now they're ready to be able to really rebuild their system, because you can't rebuild your system if you're just playing around taking out parasites. It's because the reason the parasites are there is because of the toxicity that you have inside. So this is a program, and the program makes sense when you actually, get a little sense. And it's not easy to get a little sense in this world because we're told a lot of nonsense. So we're going to do 3 grams. This is EDTA. This is the dipotassium magnesium form. I've taken about 7 pounds of EDTA. I'm not asking you to, as an experiment of my own self. EDTA has about 30,000 clinical studies. We do it IV. It goes into the body directly through the systemic system. When we do it through the mouth, you don't absorb as much, but what it does is it really cleans the intestinal tract good, okay? Because what it does is it's right there. It goes into the stomach. It gets absorbed, some of it in the bloodstream, but it's another mode of impregnation into the body. So you can do it by IV, and that cleans up the blood, and that's why we do the hard massage, is to push out a lot of this stuff into the bloodstream, and then use EDTA, different forms, to be able to claw it out. Sort of grab it, okay? If not, it circulates around your system again. You may have pushed it out, but most likely it's magnetically bound, and it's going to find another spot. So these guys are going to take, and this is about $150 this cost me, and I bought this from a lab company. This is a pharmaceutical grade. The calcium disodium, I feel, is sometimes a little more effective, but this doesn't bother you a bit because the dipotassium is really easy on the stomach. But the calcium, if I give him this much here, he'd be going to the bathroom not once or twice, about maybe 5 or 6 times. Diarrhea, okay, and very smelly stuff comes out of you. Not only smelly, okay, this is not easy talk, remember? It has to do with your garbage pit. Not only does this dissolve a lot of garbage, but it dissolves the house that the parasites live in, so you get a lot of things that come out of you. So the best way to take this is, well, you can put it in your mouth, but that's quite a bit. I was going to put it in your glass, but it's hard to get it in there. So just put it in your mouth, open up there. Okay, make sure you don't swallow it down your throat, just the powder. You get it all wet first. Sort of salty.
Keep it in my mouth?
No, go ahead and just get it wet so you don't take a breath and get the powder down your throat. Okay, here we go. And this is not the way you take it. You put it in a little bit of water, mix it around, swallow it, and then go ahead and follow it with a bigger amount. What I found out, you can take EDTA a few times, and it'll actually do a lot of miracles on cleaning out the plaque in your arteries and different things like this that the clinical studies say it does, okay? And it does. Now, once basically you have gone up to a certain layer, you need to now start breaking down tissue and pushing this stuff out. So that's what part of this workshop is going to be about here. Because these guys are ready. They're not basic guys. They're, like I said, intermediate to advanced. So I don't usually show too much intermediate and advanced on Earther Academy, just because most people, they're still beginning and intermediate, and there's a lot of catching up to do. So this will be the first video on these guys doing. Remember, we're going to break some things apart. They just took EDTA. Why? It's because we're going to break some stuff apart. Their tissues are healthy. I can see it. I don't see a lot of saggy tissue. Okay, I can see his, like I said, muscles on these guys. Okay, they're thin. Their creature level is very minimal. So we're going to dig deeper, okay, on the second round. And the first round, what we're going to do is we're going to really dig into the pores. Because how many times you guys have done gua sha? Have you done anything before you came here, though?
No, I haven't done it.
Okay. I have, actually, quite a few times, at least half a dozen times here and there throughout the past year or so.
Okay, excellent. So, even though this guy's sort of what we call a preschooler to a lot of this stuff, it just means you're just learning, okay? He's more in kindergarten, let's say. But it's not kindergarten, it's just information. Then you actually, once you start to teach it, you start to get in junior high. Okay, keep on going up, because now you've done it enough where you know the stuff works, and now I got to figure out how to tell my friends about this. It's not so crazy, because it does work. Now, the big picture here, like I said, on part 2, what we're going to do is we're going to dig deep. We're going to do the skin first, just to be able to actually open up the skin the way we're going to do it. I want to show you this also here. A lot of times we have blades. This is just a quick part here. Okay, people say, how do you get yours sharp? Okay, you can feel this one here. Okay, it's got a sharp. This one's way duller. I feel the difference there. Okay, so these are two different blades. The sharp one's not better than the dull one. They do different things. This is to dig deep, to be able to go ahead and not stretch your skin. This is to open up the pores in the skin because this one's sharp. And this one's dull because now we're going to go deeper and go into the lymph layer, the deeper layer. But we want to open up the pores to be able to let out the stuff that's basically coming out right now in us. And this is called urinating through your skin, just so you know. Okay, and everything that you see, and these guys don't smell a bit. Why? Because they just clean themselves up. Might have smelled before they got here by certain stuff, but once you actually not eat for a little bit, you'd be surprised how fast your body cleans up. So people say, how do you get a sharp edge? 2 seconds here, I'm going to show you. I use a piece of sandpaper that you would get your, I got this at Walgreens to do your nails. And this is probably about, what do you think, 200 grit?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back of the spoon, and I'm not going to go like this because that would go ahead and dull it, but I'm just going to make a little edge back and forth. And I'm going to do this just for maybe a couple of rounds back and forth. And then once I do, because I want to get now a sharper edge, clean it off a little bit. Now I'm just going to go one way, just like sharpening a knife. And what we're trying to do is just put an edge on here. Not sharp like a knife, but pretty darn close. Okay, and this is how you get, you can use coconut oil, but these sandpaper pieces I feel work better, just dry. Okay, and you can see it comes off there. And then just wipe it off. And then what you want to do is, you want to feel this and make sure that there's not any ridges. So what I'll usually do is just lightly just make sure if there's any little burrs going the other way. And you want to make sure that this edge is really smooth. Feel that and see how smooth it is. Okay. Alright, feel how smooth that is. And it's not sharp, but it's pretty sharp. So I'm going to do one more swipe because I want it a little sharper for these guys. So I went across one way, so let's go to the next way. I'm going to bend the file forward more so I can get a little more angle on the edge. I'm just going to go across like this. And now I can see the part that I miss. And this makes it a little sharper, but it was pretty sharp before. Okay, and these guys are going, what am I getting into? Look at the mad doctor sharpening his scalpel. Okay, now you can feel it's not that sharp again, but it's way sharper. It's where I want it. I want it just enough sharpness. Yeah, enough sharpness to be able to really stretch the pore. And if there's any, like when you pluck your nose, if there's any candida in that pore, okay, we're going to squeeze it out right now. Each pore has 4 feet of cord, and that's why these guys are sweating, is because their cords are open. He's sweating, and a lot of people that come in here, we've been in here now 30 minutes, and some people just have maybe 1 or 2 drops on them. That tells them they're plugged. And usually the people that happens to are women, because they put on a lot of different toxicities. Makeup, perfumes, dyeing your hair, just a lot of toxicities compared to guys. So it's a little harder to get off all the different perfumes you put on your skin and lotions and dry cleaning. All those different things, okay, are way harder, I feel, for a woman to get out, maybe because of their hormones. I'm not sure, but all I know is it comes out way easier on guys. It can come out on women, you just have to work at it more, that's all. And you're going to get bruised. So a lot of women don't like to do it because they think, and you guys got bruised, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait until you see when we get done with these guys. Okay, so just tell everybody before this is part 1. Part 2, we're going to do the protocols. Do you think this is effective for you to be able to actually go to the next layer of whatever reason you're here for? Just these simple things, reasonable. Doing colon hydrotherapy, doing IV therapies, doing massage, sleeping a little, dried yourself out, gave your body a rest, okay? And not just a little rest, with other people around you that also want rest.
Absolutely.
Also want this.
I do think so, very much, because of the fact that, really this is all we've got, and to be able to take care of this as if it is a temple is very important, in especially the way I see it. And you're really, when you come here and you get the treatment and you get taken care of and you get shown all these different new ideas and things, it really opens up your mind even more. I mean, I had an open mind coming in here, but afterwards I've even learned so much more, and very realistic things that you can take home and do yourself very practically. And I mean, just being able to really feel your body and push it to the next level to be able to have a real connection and become king of your castle or queen of your castle, so to speak.
Exactly. Did you notice that a lot of people do come here to just get clarity of their mind because their brain has so much fogginess? Did you notice that you got more clear?
You know what? I was going to mention that. I really did, especially the last 4 or 5 days of the dry water fast. I really noticed that all the BS that my mind might have been focusing on in the past, or maybe been paying attention to, was just gone. I had no care for it, and you really start to see exactly what's truly important, and that goes on individual experience for everybody. But it's a lot easier to make very smart decisions and good decisions to positively affect your future.
I call it cleaning the closet. You clean the closet. What did you? As far as, remember, everybody comes here for a different reason. You guys came here to optimize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it to the next level for sure. I loved the clarity, all the clarity that comes, and I noticed I started journaling way more. Like every day I've been filling pages of my journal, and it's really nice to be able to feel good and like have a clear mind about everything that you want to have a clear mind about. And all the hard part for me was, like, I was so used to doing stuff and being up, so when I went down, I had to be with my thoughts, so to say. And it wasn't so easy at first, and then it's like, okay, I accept this, I'm gonna surrender to it and just allow all of this stuff to come through, whatever wants to come through. And then your body, at that point, you feel so light that you're just like you can feel the response that your thoughts have within your body.
The subtle body becomes activated. You start to feel the plants. You start to feel the wind in a different way than you did before.
Yep,
you appreciate just about everything, including the sun.
Yep, you're super open and connected. It's an awesome experience to be so clear. And it's like you just get to push the reset button here. You get to kind of unwind and recreate the positive patterns that you want to have. I think the goal is just to take all that home too.
100%.
Yeah.
So what do you explain to me is what I call the in-breath, because we're so used to doing this out-breath. Do. When you're done with that, I got more for you to do. Oh yeah, I got more too. Got another stock room back there. I haven't even opened that one yet. Okay, so he's been learning how to be. And to learn how to be is sometimes a lot harder than to learn how to do, because we've learned how to do so good that we feel guilty when we try to learn how to be, which is actually learning how to look into yourself, release the baggage that we've accumulated from arguments, from deals that didn't go through, to just not getting your way, or maybe getting your way and not wanting what you wanted. Okay, so, maybe now once, and this is what I've noticed with a lot of people when they call me a couple months later afterwards, they say, Dr. Cassar, I never have played with nature before, and now I do. I walk in nature and I feel like all of a sudden I'm in the presence of these plant alive beings. And I said, that's the part of your subtle body. And so this is where these guys are at. They're going to evolve. They're not going from sickness to health. They're already healthy. Okay? Now they're super healthy. Super healthy. Now, when they go home, just like anything, there's always a protocol you want to follow. And there's always different things that you learn that you put into your energy field that make sense. And you just keep on doing them. And you exercise like you guys are doing. Okay? Very important. Do you like to exercise, you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Love it. And
so good.
It's especially hard since you've been laying around so much at the last end of the fast to go ahead and push yourself to get up and get out. But it's very, very imperative that you do, because then you can just keep the escalation going and really expand on your whole central nervous system and pushing that air.
I was giving you guys little mini, I call biatch sessions. Make sure, don't get lazy. You guys are advanced. I want you to just push it through. Even though if you don't feel like it, do it anyways. And when you're done, you'll say, I feel much better. Then the next time you do it, it won't be so bad. And after you do it 4 or 5 times, you're regrowing your neural net pathways, as I call them. You're making new growth because you have space. So these guys here, like I said, they weren't sick. They were healthy. Now they're healthier than they were way before. Okay, their mind now is showing acuity and change. Why? Because you start to realize different things. You start to release different things. You start to become, as I say, more complete. So now it's time to really, always, once you get to this layer, this is the best part of your new life, is because you feel all of a sudden like you got a new life. Okay, your body's cleaner, your mind's more expanded, and now you have to fill it with better things than you used to play around with. When you look back, you'll say, why did I waste my time with that? It's because that was the morphogenic field that your mind and body were in. So get new friends, guys. Doesn't mean you have to lose them, but it's nice to get new friends. Yeah. Try new exercises. Try new things that you've never done before. If you've never done yoga, do it anyways. If you can't do it good, doesn't matter. You'll get better. Okay, try taking a walk in nature, doing whatever it is, maybe even going on a walk with your mother or something. Okay, try doing some things that are different than what you did before, and just put those into your energy field. Your energy field already has all that other stuff, and it knows it so well, and most of it, you don't need it anymore, and if you do, you pull it right back out. So again, part 2, they just took the EDTA, they took the NICE, and you guys start to feel it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
pretty uncomfortable.
As you can see, these guys are red, okay? And that's what the niacin does, brings blood to the surface. Before we go, I'll show you one quick when you do the niacin, if you do it in the sauna here. We've got some peppermints, and peppermint cools you down. So the niacin makes you feel like you're going to get overloaded. So you open your hand up there, open this way, and then put about 5 drops, mix your hands together. And then rub it over, don't put it in your eyeballs, but rub it over your whole body. I'm going to put it on too so I can feel the coolness of peppermint. Immediately, all of a sudden you go, whoa, someone opened up the door. Okay. Now your skin, and this is really good for you when you go out in nature, is rub your body with essential oils and magnesium. We show how to do that on many videos. And change your tune to the tune that you want to be. Lavender relaxes you, so ground yourself. Okay, peppermint gives you energy. You want energy in a nature hike? Of course you do. You want to be curious. You want to be able to be like a little child. Everything should be brand new. Especially when you follow a lot of these simple protocols that really change the way you think, feel. But the problem is, unless you do it, you see these guys, remember, they're not sick. They're healthy. Now they're beyond optimized because they already know that's in their program. They don't need to go ahead and actually get a program of optimization. Now they're getting a program of awareness. And their awareness right now only comes when they go ahead and actually treat the body as a church, teach it as a temple. As you guys, don't you have any thoughts on the body as a temple or a garbage pit?
Well, it depends how you use it and how you treat it. But yeah, there's a whole entire another universe inside here just as it is outside there. And really, that's the only temple you need to dwell in and take control of and really optimize.
And you can't explain it until you actually clean it up and actually go through this, because this was an epiphany, wasn't it, guys? And then, you know what I mean? That means that all of a sudden you had this life-changing event, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it is. You did break some boundaries and you did some heavy-duty hurdles. Okay, so like I said, bravo for these guys. Part 2's coming up, and we've been in here now 40 minutes, so we're soft. And I like to, before we start doing any of the heavier duty techniques, and they're just intermediate. They look heavy duty to beginners, but these guys, like I said, they're more in line to do this. Is because their tissue's ready for this deeper breaking down. Most people, as I showed both you guys, a lot of people have little balls in their tissues, and that's plastic. That's all just a lot of toxicity, contaminants, just a lot of stuff, okay? So we're going to break that down little by little, use a few solvents, and we'll see what kind of progress these guys do from already the progress that they already did before. So there we go, guys. Let's give them chakras part 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.